part of a radical Jewish group that were being persecuted and killed, or standing up to the powers that be, or whatever. And here comes the last person at the end, takes in all the things that all the other people died for. I myself, I'm okay with this. Like, it still doesn't shake. It doesn't shake my faith at all. In the book, in the New Testament, right, with the way his story is written, he's God. But as a real person, in that time, in Jerusalem, are we ever really going to know? No, we're not. But I do know the story, and the story says that he is the Word of God. He is the Son of God. He's the Son of Man. So, with the story as it's told, that's what the story says. The story says he's God. Was he really God in the flesh? I don't know. Faith that he resurrected. I have faith that I believe in the story of this man coming down and sacrificing and doing all this stuff, because it adds the ethics part to it. It gives us a storyline on how we should be better people, and so on and so forth. So, is the story being 100% real really like the reason why I believe in it? No, it's not. And this is stuff that I've realized about my faith a very long time ago. Very long time ago. And I got it from speaking to older religious men. Not just that rabbi, but priests and brothers and things like that. And sometimes, they tell you things because they know that you're asking because you're open to those sort of ideas, or that you are cool with, these sort of things. They're not going to talk to everybody like that, So
give me a second. How do you get that Herod being the father of the Jesus? I just looked it up. There's no scripture.
No, Antipater was the son of Herod.
Wait, so what is your claim? Can you repeat it again?
Not my claim. There's a theory that Herod was the grandfather.
No, I don't care about theory. Is there any manuscript or statement?
No, there's just theory, dude. There's no. How could you have a manuscript of such a private event? It's insanity, dude.
Yeah. So exactly. So theories are baseless. It's like Megatron saying,
most history.
No, you can build on theory. Yeah.
Most history is theory.
Most of history.
When the Gospels
is just storytelling.
No. A theory without scriptural evidence is just something.
Bro, scriptural evidence is a theory too. Scripture's theory.
Evidence in the scriptures is by no means historical.
Exactly.
No, I'm not saying it's historical, but you can derive theories from the scripture.
You can derive to see what people believed in that time period.
Hashemi, I'm not trying to destroy any faith or whatever, but it is faith. The faith can't be proven. You can't prove your faith. You live it, right? You accept these things. You can't give evidence for that. Even an atheist has faith that there was a miracle of evolution. Even they have to bite the bullet on that. They're saying it was time. Well, then there must have been one point in time in which the conditions were perfect, or this plant life to have evolved into some sort of tadpole that made it on the, you know what I'm saying? They also have a story of faith. It's just stuff they can't explain. They're gonna have to,
Exactly.
Yeah. So
Actually, the only truth, the only reality is existence.
Well, I'm not gonna go and say that shit.
That's it. It's on Google. That we exist. That's it. That's all you can tell with certainty.
The only reality is God.
Yes, the only existence is God.
Yeah, so you don't exist technically.
Not technically.
Well, I say how I come to that conclusion is that in order for things to come in and out of the world, something must remain static. Something must remain consistent and eternal. in order for all that is to exist or not exist. That is God.
Correct.
Wait, Mega, have you read any Gnostic Gospels?
Yes.
We read them in here all the time.
He's shared with me. That's one of my best, actually, possessions of literature.
So many. Yeah, you want to read? You want to read the one?
I'll read the one.
Yeah, exactly. Like I actually read some paragraphs of some of the Gnostic Gospels, and I don't see any problem with that. Like,
No, there isn't.
yeah. So, the question is, who actually gathered these books and
The Freemasons.
Who's that Freemason?
Who said that? I don't hear.
That's your first warning. That's your first warning, Ali. All right, first warning.
Don't talk bad on my Masons. I'm a part of the Brotherhood.
So.
What you do, you send them out there, and I'm just being real. You send them out there and give them a chance to distinguish themselves, and if they're brave and if they fight well, then they can actually gain respect. You know what I mean?
That's gonna appear in the Gnostic text. So there was two main groups. There was the Valentinian, and then there was what was it called again? The Valentinians. They believed in the Neoplatonic one, and then the other one was
the Sophia.
What was that again? I like the Sophia one.
I believe in Sophia.
No, that's a very jingly.
The second treatise of Seth were the Sethian.
You terrorist bastard. Look at you, motherfucker. Living in Norway. Motherfucker. We know about your explosives in Jerusalem that you're hiding with your family. We're going to bulldoze your family's building down in Jerusalem. You bastard mood. You son of a bitch. Don't you do any more evil, you bastard. Be good. You stupid bastard. Your name should be good, not mood. You fucking bateja.
The Christian New Testament was done.
This was it.
What do you mean this was it?
The Gospel of Thomas?
No. Gospel of Thomas is late.
Bro, I'm asking you, how did they canonize the New Testament? Like, this was it?
No, the first canonization of the New Testament was I'm trying to find the name. I'm trying to get the name. The name of the group that was killed by the Diocletian. It's called I can't think of it right now. They were the Sethian. It was one guy who was leading it. Can't think of the name right now. But anyway, I put the book at the top.
How is the canonization of New Testament done, and what was their metric for including and excluding something?
So Mark, Matthew, Luke, and John were going to be like the earliest ones after Paul's letters, right? So it's going to be Paul's letters first, because he was the one who went around and did the ministry, right? He was the one, he was the one who knew about Jesus' story and his followers, so he went around, to parts of Europe or Greek, and then he came back. He went to assist them. And then hold on a second.
Bro, but the question is, how did they verify the text that was included was actually John's writings? And
Because of the people that the story is built around.
I can remember
It wasn't just. Yeah, Secret Book of John.
Oh yeah, right. That's right.
Yeah, Secret Book of John. That's probably what it is.
Yeah, 135. That's correct. And Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah, Secret Book of John. So they know because of the group.
Waters of strife.
Yeah, the group of people
He
that
said,
surrounded the text.
"Behold the new land with thine eyes."
Yeah, but no, it was those people. Like it was the people from Luke. They say Luke was written by.
And I shall stay.
I am called by the Lord.
Mark was written, you know, the same. It was Mark's story. I think he was. I don't know if he was Jewish. Matthew was Jewish. So on and so forth.
All the apostles were Jewish.
I guess you could say that. Maybe they were.
No, they weren't. Joshua, I charge you with strength, and you shall go over Jordan to lead the people.
Yeah.
As for me and my house,
Do they know what Messiah is?
the Lord.
Yeah, of course. Could have been a private. Could have been a movement, you know, done by specific people. You don't know. What I'm saying, that Shemi. Don't think we got it all figured out.
Shami. Okay, let me read this for you guys. I have to go, but I'm gonna read it, please. Should I, Becca?
Please do.
Yes.
The day God and Satan spoke face to face, there came a moment when Satan entered heaven not as a conqueror, but as the appointed accuser. While the sons of God stood before the throne, he also appeared among them. And no one stopped him, for he was permitted to be there. Then God looked at him and asked,
Where have you come from?
and Satan answered,
From roaming through the earth, walking back and forth upon it.
And so the trial began. The one being tested was not a king or a warrior, but a simple man, righteous, one who feared God and turned away from evil. With fury, Satan hurled his accusation.
He only worships you because you bless him. Take away everything he has, and he will curse you to your face.
God allowed the test. Heaven fell silent, and hell was unleashed.
Okay. Ready?
Did you know that Moses was the only human who saw God and lived? It wasn't a dream. It wasn't a vision. It was real. God had said, "No man can see my face and live." But Moses insisted. He didn't want more miracles. He didn't want more signs. He wanted to see God. And God agreed. But
The invisible one.
hell was under.
Do you know there was once an angel who...
That is pure light, is which no eyes can gaze. The one is the invisible spirit. You should not think of it as a god or like a god, for it is greater than a god, because it has nothing over it and no lord above it. It does not exist within anything inferior to it, since everything else exists within it alone. It is eternal, since it does not need anything, for it is absolutely complete. It has never lacked anything in order to be completed by it. Rather, it is always absolutely complete in life. The one is illimitable, since there is nothing before it to limit it. Unfathomable, since there is nothing before it to fathom it. Immeasurable, since there is nothing before it to measure it. Invisible, since nothing has seen it. Eternal, since it exists eternally. Unutterable, since nothing could comprehend it or utter it. Unnameable, since nothing before it gave it a name. The one is the immeasurable light, pure, holy, immaculate. The one is unutterable and is perfect in incorruptibility. Not that it is part of perfection or blessedness of divinity. It is much greater. The one is not corporeal and is not incorporeal. The one is not large and it's not small. It is impossible to say how much is it, what kind is it, for no one can understand it. The one is not among the things that exist, but it is much greater. Not that it is greater. Rather, it is in itself. It is not a part of the eternal realms or of time.
Keep asking.
For whatever is part of a realm was once prepared by another. Time was not allotted to it, since it receives nothing from anyone. What would be received? What is alone? The one who is first does not need to receive anything from another. Such a one beholds itself in its light. The one is majestic and has an immeasurable purity. The one is a realm that gives a realm, life that gives life, a blessed one that gives blessedness, knowledge that gives knowledge, a good one that gives goodness, mercy that gives mercy and redemption, grace that gives grace. Not as if the one possesses all this. Rather, it is the one that gives immeasurably and is incomprehensible light. What shall I tell you about it? Its realm, its eternal realm, is incorruptible, at peace, dwelling in silence, at rest before everything. It's the head of all realms, and it sustains them through its goodness. You know what is ineffable. You would not understand what is immeasurable, were it not for that, were it not for what has come from Father. This is the one who has told these things to us, Lord.
Yeah, complete heresy. Where did you read that from?
In the Gnostic Bible.
It sounded like that. You know what would Jesus say about this?
What?
He would say, do not keep God holy, and do not throw your pearls before swine, lest they trample them under their feet and turn to attack you.
I think Jesus would just say one word.
Fuck off.
Fuck off is true. Jesus would say, I leave.
Anyway, I read the model and have you modeled pretty accurately, I think.
Melissa, why do you have a sexy picture of a girl wearing a cross? That's like kind of weird, man.
That's not a C. Is that a full C? Yeah.
I'm on crease though.
You made my waist like 24.
Marius, look at Mega's PTR.
That's what I use the
27-ish. Yeah, the hips are right.
Oh.
That's the most haram picture you can ever.
Measurement mensen genoeg. Okay.
Dressed up. Whatever I want to dress you up. I'm going to dress you whatever way I want to dress you. Now, I have a full model of you. Like a creep. Let's do karaoke tonight.
Let's please. Yeah. I have lots of shit to do right now. Like in an hour I have to leave. Why did Hadija leave? Did you guys have a fallout, Ashami?
What do you mean by fallout?
Did you disagree on something with the brethren? Probably yesterday I had a disagreement with their political views.
No, I have disagreements with them, but I'm still in contact with them.
I am also, but I don't agree with them and their political views. Like
I don't agree with them. Also, that they view everything like I literally believe that Moses like put his stick on the ground and then they divided the sea into two halves. I do believe that an ant can talk to a human. So I'm not a naturalistic person in the sense that I deny the miracles, right? I do believe in miracles, but they don't. They try to like formulate everything to the natural realm.
Yeah, Joshua Little is a nice miracle.
Joshua Little is gay. Like, bro, look at the way he speaks. Like, he has nothing to do except reading hadith and trying to connect narrators good at rolling. This guy is insane.
Who do you take from academia then?
No, I actually take from him, but I just take from like version.
You know, actually, Joshua lives in
Ali, what? Dude, I really don't agree with that political views. Of course, I mean he's just an academic.
Why you're mourning, bro? Like,
She tried to recreate Kitover.
Yeah, I was running, bro.
Christ, man. Like, listen, the thing is, right? Joshua Little is actually based in academic, but the thing is, right? He's actually ruining Islam, which is a good thing for me because I want Islam to be ruled so people will come to their senses, especially the Sunnis and Shia traditionalists. Like,
Daniel, look at my photo, Daniel.
Well,
Tell me that.
That's hard.
Tell me that's not one of the hottest fucking Punjabis. Oh my god.
Can you remove the cross?
You remove the what?
The cross.
Why?
The cross from where?
Why does the hijab have to be so sexualized? That is
Exactly.
actually disgusting.
Because like honestly, like this looks amazing. I think that. Listen,
You know, men actually prefer that, Megatron. That's the funny thing. Like, this is what I feel like. If you're gonna dress like that, just don't. They want a woman to wear a headscarf and fucking wear tight, like, body, like, clothes like that because it turns them on. That's why, like, I prefer women that will go outside and wear a bikini without any job because at least she's fucking honest.
wait, how is she not being honest?
Because do you think that's a job? What is the point? Exactly. What is? No, you know one thing my mom says to me, like I have this point where I goes, listen, as long as your titties are covered and your ass is covered, I don't give a shit. Is it? You don't like your hair is not a strong thing. If a man gets turned on by hair, then there's something fucking primitive about that.
Changing the entire figure and features of
Body for Abdullah, oh my god.
Yeah, I mean, not gonna lie, right? Like, she kind of looked.
No, but men like that. And like, I bet how she's looking at that profile picture. He's like probably fucking zooming in, zooming out, screwing
No, actually,
she's a motherface though.
I actually thought she's a private lady. That's why I hope they don't come to the TTR. Like, looking at her from far away. Like, she's not even thought to
her face.
Bro, that's AI. It's not even real.
The moms look fair. She doesn't have a bad face. Her face, I think it's got a pretty face.
Yeah, it's a pretty good sorry. I see what
No, she's got a typical Arab face. Like, she's not fucking she's not covered with like surgery. Like, I gotta expect that. Like, she just looks like a typical Middle Eastern woman. But
Well, this ass is not an organic.
No,
no, the ass is
Yes. That's an organic ass, bro.
this is not real.
No, she's got
That's an organic ass.
No, that's
She's got a food pen.
bro. Like, when you
Well,
tap
she-
it, it's like you're touching a balloon, bro.
Yeah, this is silicone.
Bro, she's wearing Spanx.
She's got a food.
No.
Dude,
She's wearing Spanx. Spanx.
You know what?
Emphasize
I
it.
don't agree.
I don't care.
The woman I'm analyzing this.
Even if they won't agree with that time.
Listen, as a straight woman, I'm analyzing this, and she's got a bit of a food pair, but you've got a bit of that stomach over there. That means that ass is natural.
No way that's natural.
That's
No way.
Look at that stomach.
Persians, we know what cosmetic surgery is. We live on that.
I mean, I can fake her for you guys if you want to, for the sake of the medical field. Just bring it.
Okay, fair enough.
Bro, we live on that shit. I just tell Daniel,
I
like,
want to fucking inspect him with
I
that ass.
can even fake your ass with you guys. I mean, not that I want to. It's just like me sacrificing.
I'm just gonna post a bunch of hijabi pictures like this too. I want to piss off
Yeah,
this
but Megatron, I've noticed the Christian. Yeah, but Megatron, No, but you know, Megan, if Christian men actually love women that dress like this, like hijabis, that way, very clothes.
Yeah, they want to do biological warfare. They want to attack them by anti-her. This is like religious sexual warfare. The Christian dudes are like, okay, let's go fuck up Muslim girls. Like, that's what they think.
No, I
I've never touched a Muslim woman. I don't know what you're talking about.
but Megan,
in my, you know.
no, but I'm gonna be real. Actually, in the West, the Christian men are way more respectful towards the Muslim women than the Muslim men. Like they actually like if you tell them you're
Everywhere that would be true. I'm sorry. Everywhere that would be true.
very fucking respectful. This is why I always say for men that lower their hand.
Yeah, because we're not fucking rapists. That's why.
Yeah, the Muslims are fucked up, man.
I've never dated or married.
I've dated before once.
I always agree with you, Charlie.
Unfortunately, I'm not gonna lie. I'm only attracted to Muslim men. Like that thing, I'm
You're
not
attracted
attracted
to
to
what,
Muslim
man?
men. I wouldn't, but if
You're
you're
attracted
attracted,
to men?
Muslim men, like the guy's not Muslim, like dude, Muslim guy.
What?
Like you know, if
I'm also attracted to Muslim men.
guy's not Muslim, just lose attraction.
Yeah, I'm attracted to Muslim men also.
I'm
Yeah.
only dated around Muslim.
I'm not gonna lie.
Why does it lose attraction? For what reason? Dude, I'm not gonna.
Muslim men have said
It's not gonna work out. It's just that no, it won't work out. That's why. Why? I mean, we're not allowed to marry them. I think for marriage, I don't like messing them out.
Oh God.
I don't wanna
Go on vacation, be an adult, take the hijab off, give me a break.
Maybe I'll put
I don't wear a hijab. I wear a hijab.
Yeah, no one's gonna know. No one's gonna know. Yeah, no, I'm saying when I say take the hijab off, I mean that in like a metaphorical sense. Like, you know, you can leave that religious
I
stuff.
know, but I'm being straightforward. No, I'm being for real. I'm being for real. I'm not doing it to stay type of. If I find out the guy's not Muslim, I bother. Dude, if I find out even if the guy's a Sunni, I don't bother. It's just a waste of time.
But that's what I
Like,
tell
you
you.
can get attraction to.
Don't you? You
No,
can't
look, you
change
can
her
attraction.
gender.
No, look,
She's
you
like
can
she has-
someone. I'm like, you can have attraction to the one. Doesn't mean you're gonna act upon it. That's what makes us different from animals.
Well, then you gotta go on vacation. Then I don't know what the hell you do on vacation. You know, when you're on the dance floor, when you're hanging out, like you're not fucking asking them all these questions. Like, are you a Sunni? Are you a Shia? Are you a Christian? Like these questions don't come up when you meet somebody. You know, when you're out having a good time.
I do.
You're not gonna have the opportunity to ask them these questions.
Who's going to say jobs for my damn phone? They're cool. I'm just trying to act. Look at that. And to be I'm not gonna lie. I do need to start traveling by myself. I won't start by myself. Maybe I'll find and I might not even be able to. I know. Yeah.
I hope
No, what you do is find yourself some white girls.
your husband is a pagan Hindu who worships the gods.
What's wrong with that?
Find yourself.
It's just something that can happen.
Not attracted to fucking Hindus. Oh my god.
You know how she's like, I'm not gonna date anyone except she has. I'm not gonna date Muslims. I'm not gonna date Christians, and then she's gonna end up like marrying a Hindu.
Charlie, you sound like you're tall. Charlie, are you tall? You sound.
I have dated a Sunni guy.
What?
It didn't work out. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It didn't work out. So I was like, have a nice day. Take care. Like, dude, it's like.
Yeah, but Charlie, how tall are you? How tall are you, Charlie? Are you like 5'8"? Oh, you're 5'4". Oh, okay.
No, I'm saying you. Dude, no, it's not about that. It's just like.
Who's this guy, Noor? Who are you, Noor? You gotta come up. If you don't come up, you gotta go. That's it.
But I want to. But can I ask her?
What's up, Noor? Talk to me. Hold on. I've been doing this. I'm on a rampage. I'm gonna know every Muslim on this site today. What's up? What's up, Noor?
What's
What you
up,
got? Are you a Muslim?
100%.
100%? Okay. Are you Sunni?
Yep, 100.
Okay. All right. Well, listen. My name is Barth, aka Megatron. Okay. Just to let you know, Noor, that I'm in here and I'm debating Muslims on a daily basis. So if you're friends, if you knew anybody, they're gonna know me from here and Discord and so on and so forth. Okay? I just wanted to let you know I'm in here every day. Okay? So bring your best Trinity arguments, get your friends, tell them to come in here.
I'm a 36-year-old man. I got a lot to do.
Okay, all right. All right. Bye-bye. Okay, that's it. Thank you.
No, I just want to
He'll be
confront
back.
Hashmi.
He'll be back another day. Again.
Wait, hold on. Can I confront Hashmi?
Yeah.
Hashmi, why are you praying that I marry? Like, you could have said something that's like, oh, I pray that your husband is like a nice, humble man and a nice, humble
No,
Shia.
it's just funny, like,
Turn around and goes,
at home watching him put milk on a penis of a god. It's like funny for me imagining it, right?
Why?
And then
Why
that
did you
moment
put
you're talking about your clubhouse talk with us, and you were like, I'm not gonna date a Christian, I'm not gonna date a Sunni, and then you end up with a guy who's worshiping a penis.
I don't mind. Look, I'm not gonna lie. I wouldn't mind. Okay, I wouldn't mind
You wouldn't mind your husband worshiping a freak of Shiva?
I mean,
Actually,
Christians are not that bad. Christians are not that bad.
I should have laid my house Ross with you, okay? It's you're basically giving reference to creation. Actually, don't talk like a
Yeah, but you know the thing is though, I wouldn't have even minded if he said that you could marry a Christian, but he said, "Hey, a fucking filthy Hindu, really? Fuck you."
Yeah, it's just
You know what?
You don't have good imaginations, right? I just imagine you come after a long day of work, and then your husband's like putting milk and honey on the dick of Shiva. He's like, namaste,
I can smell it. Oh my god. I'm fucking closing my nose right now. Oh my god.
Are you gonna philosophize the way?
the arrogance of the fucking Abrahamics. I can't.
Yeah, okay, can you explain to us, since you...
I'm not gonna lie, she's got a point.
First of all of it rooted in Vedics. All of it rooted in Greco-Roman freaking myths and legends, and then the arrogance of the Abrahamites.
Okay, Nergis, can you explain to me how...
I love it when Nergis talks very...
Nergis sympathizes with Hindus a lot. She's you know, she has... Yeah.
She has a basically Hindus.
He lived in India for quite a bit, right?
Yeah, for decades. Almost.
Yeah, of course.
I just want to hear Nergis defending Hindus like putting milk on their dick on their gum. You go on Nergis, like, please enlighten us.
What is that sugar?
But the thing is, like, the original Hinduism was actually not like that. The original Hinduism was
We're
very...
talking about particulars and rituals, right? It's like how people laugh at Shias or look down upon them and they self-flagellate. How about that, Harsh?
Yeah, that's even better, bro. That's nothing compared to like worshiping the dick of your god.
It's not a worship, idiot. It is paying reverence to freaking creation. So Shivling
Reference to the dick of your god, right?
Shivling is wrapped on the hymen of sex.
It actually makes sense if you believe a man is God, right?
Sexuality is not ugly.
Then you have to...
In Hinduism, it is revealed.
Listen to the logic of Charlie. If you believe man is a god,
Well, listen, let me finish. If you believe...
Yeah, go on.
No, if you... No, I'm not kidding.
That was
Man is God. Let me finish. Let me land my point. If you believe man is God, then you have to worship the penis. It's as simple as that.
That is not true. It is not the penis. Shivling
Why
is
not?
wrapped in the hymen of Saraswati. It's
Wait,
the act
it's
of,
a man. A man. No, a man.
it's not a dick alone. It's not a phallus.
A man is not a man without his penis.
It's not just a phallus. It is the member of Shiva wrapped in the hymen of Saraswati.
The hymen is the hymen.
Does that mean I have to love your pussy?
You have to look up.
It means this is high creation of man.
My husband fell with me in my pussy. Maybe I should marry a Hindu guy. Maybe I should use that old dear.
There's so much beauty of so incredible.
Yeah, bro. Like, imagine coming
You know,
back
you
home.
convinced me. You
Yeah,
convinced me.
imagine
You
like
didn't do my
coming back
puja.
home.
I just wanted to say Lahmet on all of you. Bye.
Don't go.
Kim Jong-un is a master of food. Me and PJ
Like, bro, imagine like Hindus are like guys all together.
It's Teresa, why don't you come into the freaking karaoke?
They do puja.
when I was a teen.
It's beautiful.
They do puja in this, right? Of like their husband or wife. So I want my husband to do mine.
Yeah, right. So puja would be like paying reverence too. It's not worship. It's acknowledging the truth of being reverence.
I just told your future husband is gonna like grab your feet and stuff.
This is the thing, right?
Oh, that's actually
Yeah,
oh,
alright. Well, that's one thing, but I'll tell you one thing, right? Worship. See, when you guys say worship, I just draw a blank. Like, I don't know what worship. Like, when people say worship, I'm always like lost as to what they mean. Like, when you guys pray, you do this supplication, right? You do this like, you do this like
I pray to him on my
into the ground.
I bow down
You know, up and down, prostration. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Me, I don't.
It's not clear, sorry, no.
Yeah, I don't do stuff like that. So acts of worship to me are like far and few. For example, when I get paid, I put my check into the joint account for me and my wife. That's like an act of worship, right?
Yes.
I would say that's one of the highest acts of worship.
Yes.
Yeah, so then I worship my wife, I worship my family.
It's the act of showing intense adoration, honor,
Palestine, you gotta come up,
Charlie,
Getting into
you gotta come up.
Charlie, surface. Charlie,
Who's there? BWI, what's up? What you got?
Terrace.
What do you got, BWI?
What's up? What's the question?
Are you a Muslim?
No, I'm not.
Are you sure?
Positive.
Well, you sound like somebody that was in here saying a bunch of alhamdulillahs and subhanallahs and all sorts of nonsense.
What's happening?
You sure?
No, there's no religion in the Bible. I don't believe in any religion. I believe in the Bible.
You believe in the Bible?
Yes.
Alright, you can stay in the audience, that's fine. Okay, that's cool. Thank you. Lesser, what's up? Lesser Goals. What do you got? You gotta come up. No, he has lesser goals. That's what he has. Oh, you don't want to come up? Okay, no problem. Bye-bye. Sorry, guys. Yeah, we're just not doing any,
When you're speaking, I would look at your PTR, right?
yeah.
Yeah. So can you explain your PTR to us?
That reminds me of my ex. Just like that. Yeah, little top, big long legs. She was like 6 foot tall. German.
And why did you decide to put a picture of someone who looks like your ex?
I mean, why not? I did putting up a bunch of. I'm gonna put a bunch of hijabi pics up pretty soon too.
You put the hijab as well.
Yeah, I'll put the hijabi pics. Hold on a second. Let me put some sexy ass hijabi. They got some sexy ass hijabi girls on here. Pinterest. That's where I find these things because I don't want to find it too explicit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not searching for porn. I'm just searching for like AI pictures, possibly of good-looking women with some sheets and wearing a hijab.
This guy's funny, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm on a rampage. All I gotta do is get kicked out of one fucking Muslim room, and I'm kicking 50 Muslims today. So that's what I'm saying. Like, they're gonna pay. They're gonna pay. That's what's gonna happen. If I get kicked out of
Do we
no,
know?
you guys don't count. If I get kicked out of one room, I have to kick at least 25 Muslims. But my goal is 50 Sunnis.
Do you see that over here, the Shias? Do you see that he
How many people have I kicked out of the room already, Marcus, since you've been in the room? How many people have I kicked out?
At least like 25 or so.
Yeah, I'm getting there.
Megatron does not see the Shias. Megatron does not see the Shias as Muslims. That's all it is. How dare you, Megatron? How dare you? Thought you were cool.
No, it's not that you guys aren't Muslim. It's that the word Muslim has been destroyed by Sunni. It has been tainted. Yeah, it's been so tainted. So I try to, the word Catholic has been tainted also. The word Catholic in some sense has been tainted also. But I mean, yeah. I just don't like the word Christian.
Why not?
Because I never said I was a Christian. I told my wife once that
Little people up.
I said Christian to my wife. She's like, "Are you?" She's like, "We're Catholic. Why are you saying Christian?" I was like, "Yo, you're so right. I love you." Trying to get her to come to Ash Wednesday with me. She's not down. She's like, you make religion because you always talk about it so uncomfortable. Maybe if you didn't talk about it so much, I would go with you. And I'm like, all right, you don't want to go this year, well, come with me next year. I'm telling them, it's not like you gotta wear the ashes on your head all day. I say, come with me to night mass. And that's why I like the guy next to my house, because man, he's done with the mass in 40 minutes, man. Done. In, out. Love it. Fucking Eastern Orthodox, they're sitting there for 2 hours. So go ahead, Saxton. Join the Eastern Orthodox. You're gonna be there.
Man, do you know what you have in common with you, Catholics and Muslims? You're both pagans.
What the fuck are you? Celtic, Saxon, Celtic.
Yeah, I'm a beautiful Celtic, Saxon, English woman.
You have to be told you're beautiful. You can't call yourself beautiful.
Man, I get told that every day, bro. Every day.
You get told you're beautiful on random? Like randomly? Damn.
I have a question for Saxon.
Fucking hell, mate. Don't put all the heat on me now.
I'm curious. It's not like a different.
He's a Sunni Muslim.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Yeah, they're good at
In his paradigm, Shia would be a kafar. You would be a kafar, whatever you call it. Because he says, the Quran says that Allah says, if you don't follow Allah and the Messenger, which is Muhammad, and Muhammad is
Your husband believes you are also a Catholic?
Yeah, I'm a kafir. I'm a proud kafir. I don't care. He married me with an atheist, which was haram anyway, so.
But the thing is, I've been metal from the PTO you have, I cannot stop staring at the levels of you just
See, Megatron, this is what you do to these Muslim men,
Yes,
I'll change the picture. I'll put a married picture.
But I'm trying not to lose it, right? But
Hashemite in church.
You want my Hashemi or what?
I'm gonna get married to a Christian guy because
And Charlie,
Christian men
what do you
are
know?
very good at like
Really?
Charlie, I'm a Christian, by the way.
Yeah, Charlie, you know me. I've been doing it, you know.
I'm a Christian
I guess
household.
She lives in the UK, bro. There's no way you're gonna get her over here.
I'll get her a green card. I'll make it
Her family's
Charlie,
I
already wants. Have you got a Christian man? Well, there you go. You
I am a
a
Christian.
monogamous.
Oh, okay, Charlie, get cell phone
To be honest, Nargis always
It's
gave me like.
Nargis. It's Nargis.
She's one of the guys, man.
Yeah, bro. I'm a dude.
She probably is an attractive female. I'm just saying, I never talked to Nargis like in a weird way.
No one does. Actually, they do.
No, but
But I know you do.
Yeah,
I don't.
you do. Yeah. And I picked my friends based on Megatron quality. Like,
okay, but this right now is Nargis versus Shay. Who's gonna win Charlie's heart?
Oh, Charlie, I'm gonna get you the new iPhone accessory. I'm gonna have you download WhatsApp. And then you're gonna be able to call your relatives. And I'll get you a green card. I'll get you a green card for Ramadan.
Listen to Shay.
Charlie, I'm not only a Christian man, I'm also a rich Christian man.
He said, I'll get you a green card for Ramadan.
I agree. I heard that.
I don't need the Christian love. I need the Christian money.
We'll get you a Christian job then.
So Christian of you.
What did he say? He probably said something.
I said,
He said he'll get you a green card for Ramadan.
I said, I'll get you a Christian job, and he said, you need Christian money.
Yeah, that's a lot. Charlie's not that kind of Muslim. Yeah, so if you think Charlie's that kind of Muslim,
Well, we don't want her to do anything haram for the money either.
shake, you can't play any of your fake arguments for like Hadiths or Charlie. Charlie doesn't give a shit about that shit. She denounces it.
Dude, like, I want you to be Christian. I'm gonna leave me the fuck alone.
Have you heard this hadith? That's what Sheikh is going to say. And then you're going to be like, very sure.
Scotty, not because I stayed in the spot, but I had moved it for the double park. I didn't move it back in after the double park. Yeah, I moved to the alternate side. You know, you can move it to the other side, so they can, where I live, you can double park. Yeah, I was in the middle of the road. Yeah, I was in the middle of the road. Jesus. But you're alive in the middle of the road during
You're allowed to. They do that in Brooklyn. They do that in Brooklyn a lot. In my block where I have my car, we just have to sit in the car, and then they're fine. They don't make you move it because the street cleaner doesn't come by anymore.
And them city tow guys are reckless. They don't care how they hook your joint up. Reckless.
Oh yeah, they didn't care. That actually got me. I no longer do. Scotty, I don't know how you do it, man. You're too old to be doing street park. You need to get a spot, bro.
I'm about to give up. I'm about to take my mother's and just leave it there.
Once you reach like 39, once you reach your late 30s and you make over $70,000, well, now I guess $85,000, you should be paying for a spot. I'm sorry, bro.
I mean, the spots near me.
Getting up every
No,
shit.
I can't do
You know how much the spots are in Washington Heights?
Let me
The
tell
spots
you,
in Washington Heights.
my homegirl told me the one by her was like
Nages.
$850 a month.
Like a studio.
Welcome, Nages. I'm worried about you because you come on here and you say, hey, I'm going to read something. And then I got to go because I got things to do. But you never leave.
I read from the Nasi Battle. It's very nice.
Yeah, but part of the thing of a meditation is you got to induce the meditation and tell everybody to take the deepest breath of the day. I'm going to read a little poem here. and set it right. Don't just like jump into it. You need to relax everybody first. Otherwise, it's not going to deliver the message and you've wasted your reading. That's how I felt when you read it because I was like, I don't feel like listening to this right now. You know, you need to.
Same. I didn't feel like reading it that much either, like towards the middle. Something was off. I've read the one before and it's been such a great experience, but not this time around.
There's a time and a place for everything, you know. Like there's the Barth show. Like that's why I try to like reframe it while I'm listening to it and title it in a separate room because like I want to know like I'm here to like listen to the Barth show for the time that I'm here and I you're what you did could have been a part of the show but you didn't introduce it.
I didn't do it well. Yeah.
Got to introduce
it. The crowd was not receptive. I sensed it like quite quickly.
No, the crowd is receptive. They listen to it. But the thing is, when he says, go ahead, read it, you got to say, okay, everybody, this is a meditation on peace. Take the deepest breath of the day.
Oh my God, yes. I forgot that. Like, I usually do that to myself before I read it.
Breathing is the secret. That's what gets everybody, like, if you have to do an intro and an attention grabber. And if you were to tell everybody, okay, stand up and take the deepest breath of the day with me, hold it for 10 seconds, here we go. Now you've just caused everybody to go into a reset hypnosis.
Yes.
Try it.
I'll remember it next time. Definitely. Can I read something to you?
Go ahead, but set it correctly, you know, do what we just talked about.
Take a deep breath. 7 in. Stay. Stay. Okay, the socks. Awesome.
Houston, Texas, huh? Well, we're about to do a meditation here.
I'll be on though.
I guess not. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna just pipe in politically correct for a few minutes here while we get set up.
Wait, you talking about young?
Yeah. He was out in high school. And I had seen that kind of wealth about it, but I had never
Wealth.
really
That's my favorite word, wealth.
The lower Manhattan $500,000 spot wealth until like he would go like over his friend's house and I'm like, oh, go pick him up and go get ice cream and stuff. Those townhouses down there are insane. Elevators, pools,
They're all
this is like, $50 million joints. So that's the people who are buying those spots. It's some drug.
For sure. Yeah, they need a spot. Like they'll just like whatever it is, they're gonna pay for it.
Because they didn't take the first floor and turn it into it. Because their first floor doesn't have that. It's called not a carriage house, but the ones that have the ones that are in the building. Is that what it's called when the spot's in the house?
Oh, you mean the parking spot or the?
Yeah, you have a garage.
Entrance.
Yeah, and you can have a garage as part of the house. Like, they always don't have those.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, sometimes they're called. Well, there may be individual tenants within a complex, or they're called like masonettes. That's typically what
Masonettes.
They have a lot of those on Stravers Row, old school, for the horses back in the day, and it's just leave.
That's what my grandma found, Stuyvesant.
Yeah, Stravers Row.
Very good for our young. Yeah, very good.
Yeah, because you got to go through. It's not. Yeah, that's like once in a lifetime spots up there.
And if you're driving a nice car, you don't want to park on the street because people can't park. Your bumper gets scratched. Somebody driving a bike run by your mirrors. It's just not worth it.
Oh, they do it every day. You can see Bugattis and fucking $200,000 cars on the street. Buster Ron's mom lives up there around. Guess what's mom was auntie? It was it's a couple Bugatti, right? That's what made Bob. One of those two. And they just parked it right on the street. I was just stunned. I couldn't believe it. They don't care, Kevin. These people, you be bumping it back. Oh, they don't care.
You know, you're gonna come out and
out when you're doing a luxury vehicle. You're not gonna. That's those are not cars to be running errands with, right? So yeah, you probably need 2 spots really.
You know that little plastic thing, a little it's like a little it sits in your trunk.
You used to call it, but you didn't. Thank you.
You know what? You know what really made me.
That's so cool.
You know what really made me like Ali? You know what really made me like him?
Okay, this is books. We're gonna do a book meditation, aka that's called reading a book out loud. El Santos, welcome. El Santos Morales.
What's going on? What's going on, yo?
Okay. We are live now across multiple recording studios, creating the master record, striking the master chord, and drawing the flaming sword. All hail mighty Megatron, the Catholic Bath versus the Muslim cult hordes of the world. Barth's problem is he doesn't have the time to read books anymore because he's always talking on his cell phone. Okay, this is number 15. 15 is the number of antagonism and of Catholicity. Christianity is at present divided into 2 churches, the civilizing church and the savage church, the progressive church and the stationary church. One is active, the other is passive. One has mastered the nations and governs them always, since kings fear it. The other is submitted to every despotism and can be nothing but an instrument of slavery. The active church realizes God for men and alone believes in the divinity of the human word as an interpreter of that of God. What, after all, is the infallibility of the Pope, but the autocracy of intelligence, confirmed by the universal vote of faith? In this case, one might say the Pope ought to be the first genius of his century. Why? It is more proper, in reality, that he should be an average man. His supremacy is only more divine for that because it is in a way more human. Do not events speak louder than rancors and irreligious ignorances? Do not you see Catholic France sustaining with one hand the tottering papacy, and with the other holding the sword to fight at the head of the army of progress? Catholics, Jews, Turks, Protestants already fight under the same banner. The crescent has rallied to the Latin cross. And all together we struggle against the invasion of the barbarians and their brutalizing orthodoxy. Yakov! It is forever an accomplished fact. In admitting new dogmas, the Chair of St. Peter has solemnly proclaimed itself progressive.
Ask your question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Did you take over the Church of Buttercup? That's why there's just Church of Buttercup 2?
What?
Did you occupy the Church of Buttercup?
Did I occupy it? No, I created a new. I mean, this is my house that I created.
Oh, really? Because it has the same name of Buttercup's original house. Now she has Church of Buttercup with the number 2 after it. So I was thinking maybe something happened to it.
Oh, maybe they kicked her old house or she lost it somehow. But she was in here earlier. She said hello.
She did.
That was all she said, and she left.
Okay. Thanks. What are you doing?
I'm reading a book here. About to suntan, then go for a jog. What are you doing?
Just flipping the channels. Clubhouse. Just going through the channels.
Yeah.
Have fun.
Okay, talk to
Not one for listening to books.
Oh, that's okay. Take care, bye. The fatherland of Catholic Christianity is that of the sciences and of the fine arts, and the eternal word of the gospel, living and incarnate in a visible authority, is still the light of the world. On to page 60.
But it's I mean, you know, the kids that come out of there are really going to have a positive. They're not, I can't say they're not. Yeah, not simple, but I think you have a lot of like realist things to look at there. So I'm about to go into a dense mode.
I see the derivation of this position. It sounds arbitrary, but I see the historical basis of it. Or it feels arbitrary.
Why can't you be normal like this and chill it?
Why do you take full advantage?
Why do you take full advantage of your white privilege?
I got a lot of accolades yesterday. I don't acknowledge these bullshit terms like white privilege. I think it's a bunch of crap. So try again.
Well, if we had a lie detector, and you were submitted to a lie detection test, yeah, I think you'd be found to be not telling the truth.
So you're making up a story now?
Yes, I'm using my creative, critical thinking.
Neighbor keeper, not lawyer. Go ahead.
It's very.
I'm using my creative.
Say something based in reality, though.
I'm using my creativity, critical thinking, about the dynamics of social interactions, and how certain people are privileged over others. It's called.
Talk more than anybody, though.
So when we look at, I just want to finish my point. So when we look at celebrity, when we look at wealth, when we look at intelligence,
I'm not a celebrity.
Elders, we understand that certain people in certain positions are conferred more deference, more lenience,
I think they are.
more support. They're not as heard as it really is. You are questioning the existence of white privilege.
I'm not questioning
And
it.
we know that it's just like, it's a silly notion. Influence or resist what is in regards to your racial makeup. It exists on your economic basis. It exists on your age. It exists on your intellect. It exists on your physical strength. But not on your race. I just want to know, how did that happen? What does that mean? What does that mean?
I mean, there's just no factual basis to this. United States was designed to put people intellectually on top, even though there were no. Really? So how did they know how to perform intellectually? Huh?
They said, how do you live? Nah, we were talking about the law. No, this is like you saying that. Can you stop interrupting, bro? Like, come on, man. You've been so civilized for so long, bro.
About money and
Can you just calm down for 5 seconds?
I can't help it. The ears cloud.
Oh, my
How's
God.
that? Don't stop whining and complaining. There's only two people in the room.
Are you done? You're still acting like a child.
No, you're acting like a freak. No, what up?
Okay.
I just changed the matter.
This has gotta, like, I gotta hook up some psychologists so we can hear.
Yeah, you need one. I'll recommend one.
Bro.
Benjamin, could you make me a mod and then I will just like
Manage the situation. But I just wanted to say to McZed, do you agree that white privilege doesn't?
Benjamin left?
I do not think that white privilege does not exist. I do think that there is white privilege.
Okay, thank you. Now, El Normo is so vehemently denying its existence. We know he's being very dishonest. And my question to you, McZed, is how do you live in a world where people are constantly lying? In your profession, I just take it that there's always somebody somewhere doing what fucking El Normo's doing. And I know it has to like make you insane.
Yeah.
So how do you do it, McZed?
And by the way, some people play victim all the time, Concrete. We gotta live in that world too. I offer you as an example. A privileged person who nevertheless pleads victim. It's humiliating for a man to do that, Concrete. I mean, come on, be a man.
How do you do it, McZed?
Stop
No,
it.
I mean it seriously.
Me too.
How do you do it, McZed?
How do you live in a world with liars?
Not only are they there, but they're constantly lying to you. How do you deal with it?
Growing up.
Sure.
Growing up. Concrete. Be a man. That's what it's called.
I mean, mostly I would kind of agree with him from like an American sensibility that America has rampant liars and con men that steal and defraud the public. And I think it is even, has always even been part of the reputation of America was some guy just like manipulating some fresh off the boat person to their own advantage, whether politically or just for robbery. It's been an old trope of the experience in America. Your question is like, how do you live? I'm saying Norm is somewhat mostly right in saying it's a grow up kind of a thing. We live in a world with liars, and we train ourselves to be cynical and skeptical about who and what we trust.
So when you say grow up, you're just talking about how I react to it, or how everybody.
No, I'm saying we all take personal responsibility of weighing our own confidence in what other people present as true.
Well, that's not what I'm trying to get at. What I'm trying to get at is how do you stay calm in the face of somebody who is lying to you? And how do you navigate those interactions where it's just a bombardment of lies? What do you do? I'm asking, like, in a
Okay.
you know,
If I had a lie, I would.
logical way.
I'll tell you this: if I spotted somebody lying about me while I was present,
No,
which,
not
you know,
you.
is
Just lying to you. Just continuously
okay, lying about something else to me, I would still feel pretty comfortable if I spotted the lie, right? I've got the proof in my head. I can just wait until he's done speaking and then dismantle everything he's saying and reduce his credibility to rubble. So, like, I'm sitting pretty.
Yeah, what about in this type of
I'm not usually like looking to dismantle someone's position and point out their lies or their overstatements. But like, if I had that, yeah, I could immediately, if I wanted to, just disavow everything he just said.
Yeah, but the thing,
Just prove it immediately.
yeah, but the thing is, we're talking about something abstract like white privilege, and he obviously doesn't care about his reputation.
Okay.
He wouldn't offer
Not with you.
this blatant lie.
No,
Right.
I don't care about
And so,
you.
in
About whether
this
or not white
circumstance,
privilege exists.
yeah, and he's being like unnecessarily belligerent, and so it's not only just is he lying,
This is
but he's like
I think you're
being a child about it.
But
Methodologically,
like,
yeah.
okay, Concrete, you talk with atheists, right?
Yes.
Right. And you know that within the objectionist, defensive posture of refusing to understand what you're trying to get at or what you want them to believe and end up doing, they can choose a lot of things. They can question the epistemology. They can question what kinds of things count as evidence. If he wants to object to your claim that white privilege exists and say, no, I don't think so, give him the space to unpack what he's trying to say. Because obviously he could be talking about epistemologically. He could say he could talk about ontology. The ontology of white privilege does not ground in existence, right, Concrete?
Concrete, you know what those words mean?
What is it?
Apology.
What I'm saying is, let him talk. If he wants to
That's a good question. I'll answer his question.
Gentlemen, please. Go ahead, Concrete. Go ahead.
Yeah, ontology is in its existence, in its essence, in its qualities, and then epistemology is how do you know? So that's a good question. And Big Zed, one second. And Big Zed, once I don't need to give an exhaustive.
Let's let Concrete go, please.
I don't need to give an exhaustive Stanford
Norm, please let Concrete go.
Gosh, I'm being hurried now while I'm getting interrupted.
Concrete go. Okay. All right, then. Very well.
Congrats, Norm. You scared him away.
I enjoy it.
You're a terror, Norm. A terror.
Yeah, but see, this is not effective. This is not effective.
Well, maybe we didn't want
Effective
to
to
make it.
what end, Jason? Maybe
It's
not.
It's not effective to persuading him or discouraging him, right, from his point of view. He's just
You know
like,
what I
well,
wanted to do? I wanted to intimidate him. I'm happy that I did it.
Okay, Jason, do you think that white privilege exists, Jason?
I don't know.
Okay, that's a fair answer. You can say you don't know. Honey Badger, he'll give us a mean, honest response. Do you think white privilege exists, honey?
Yes.
Thank you. Nice and simple. I think so too.
I do not.
Okay, so why do you think it doesn't exist? Since you're the atheist of white privilege in the room.
Well, for one thing, the question of proving that something doesn't exist is a bit of a fool's errand. So, the burden is always...
Look at this. He's going to agnosticism so fast he abandons his position. Look at this guy. This new atheist.
No, you're not good at this.
Guys, you're out of control. You're out of control now. Let your normal go.
I'm not abandoning... By the way, I don't mind the mixed talks, but don't do it too much. I'm not abandoning my position. I'm stating a principle of discourse that proving a negative is not a thing.
when one makes a claim, one must prove the positive claim, i.e., that XYZ exists. True or false? So, again, if you give an example, we could examine it and see if it's valid. That said,
Okay.
since you, but I will add an addendum that I don't think whiteness exists. I think whiteness is an obsolete concept, and it's a broad generalization, a catch-all term that somehow purports to include everybody from Norwegians to Greeks, from Portuguese to Swedes, and these are widely varying people and widely varying cultures. So to somehow try to paint them with this massive brush of white privilege is absurd. Now, if they, I think it did exist historically when they had exhaustive, and you'll find again.
Okay.
It's okay. I don't mind it. So, but one must point out that Jim Crow, which expressed itself as white privilege, or I would call Jim Crow apartheid, by the way, and I was alive during it. And I'm the first one that I know to call it.
Now I just changed the batteries.
Again, while we were alive.
Coming here and accusing people of being fake Jews living in your country.
Authoritarian privilege. No, it's Japanese privilege, French privilege, So the 2 points are A, historically, but the category of white is broad and I think obsolete. And point 2 is that white is a majoritarian. Or maybe that distinction is irrelevant. I'll leave it there.
Okay. I do like that you transitioned to first defining what we might mean by whiteness, which is a vague term that deserves definition in describing whether or not white privilege exists.
Just before intruding, just give me a second. Hey, Danny, I want to talk to you about Fiona's behavior. I don't know why she moved.
Could you mute this, Jason?
He doesn't know he's unmuted.
Just give me a second. I want to talk to Danny. Danny's my friend.
Okay, Danny's not here. All right.
Okay, so in terms of the definiteness, you're correct that that you have a legal reality in the past, but that through the reforms we have removed.
Okay, he's in the Matrix there. Not Smiler. Dr. Schomburg, welcome. This is the Muslims versus the Megatron of Catholicism. Rabboni Shalom. You're also in my new house, Issa Watermelon, the Issa Kunt Show. We're on page 60. Silence then to the Pharisees of the new synagogue. Silence to the hateful traditions of the schools, to the arrogance of Presbyterianism, to the absurdity of Jainism, and to all those shameful and superstitious interpretations of the eternal dogma, so justly stigmatized by the pitiless genius of Voltaire. Voltaire and Napoleon died Catholics. And do you know what the Catholicism of the future must be? It will be the dogma of the gospel, tried like gold by the critical acid of Voltaire, and realized in the kingdom of the world by the genius of the Christian Napoleon. Those who will not march will be dragged or trampled by events. Immense calamities may again hang over the world. The armies of the apocalypse may perhaps one day unchain the four scourges. The sanctuary will be cleansed. Rigid and holy poverty will send forth its apostles to uphold what staggers, lift up again what is broken, and anoint all wounds with sacred oils. Those two blood-hungered monsters, despotism and anarchy, will tear themselves to pieces and annihilate each other. After having mutually sustained each other for a little while by the embrace of their struggle itself. And the government of the future will be that whose model is shown to us in nature by the family, and in the religious world by the pastoral hierarchy. The elect shall reign with Jesus Christ during 1,000 years, say the apostolic traditions. That is to say that during a series of centuries, the intelligence and love of chosen men devoted to the burden of power will administer the interests of the wealth and the wealth of the universal family. And that day, according to the promise of the gospel, there will be no more than one flock and one shepherd. Subnote, I do not say that Voltaire died a good Catholic, but he died a Catholic. Christian authors unanimously hold that, like all heretics, he repented on his deathbed and died blaspheming. What on earth does it matter? Life, not death, reveals the soul. The number 16. 16 is the number of the temple. Let us say that the temple of the future will be when the spirit of intelligence and love shall have revealed itself. The whole Trinity will manifest itself in its truth and in its glory. Humanity become a queen, and as it were risen from the dead. We have the grace of childhood in its posy, the vigor of youth in its reason, and the wisdom of ripe age in its works. All those forms which the divine thought has successively clothed will be born again, immortal and perfect. All those features which the art of successive nations has sketched will unite themselves and form the complete image of God. Jerusalem will rebuild the temple of Jehovah on the model prophesied by Ezekiel. Does somebody smell something? Can everybody please check their shoes? I smell like somebody's maybe stepped in some shat outside. Can everybody check their shoes, please? I smell something here. I think he lives in Brooklyn or New York. A particular smell. Oof, nasty. Check your shoes, everyone. Let's continue on. Oof. Jerusalem, oh my God, the scent is overwhelming. Jerusalem will rebuild the temple of Jehovah on the model prophesied by Ezekiel and the Christ. New and eternal Solomon will chant beneath roofs of cedar and of cypress the epithalamium of his marriage with holy liberty, the holy bride of the Song of Songs. But Jehovah will have laid aside his thunderbolts to bless with both hands the bridegroom and the bride. He will appear smiling between them and take pleasure in being called Father. However, the poetry of the East, in its magical souvenirs, will call him still Brahma and Jupiter. India will teach our enchanted climates the marvelous fables of Vishnu. And we shall place upon the still bleeding forehead of our well-beloved Christ the triple crown of pearls and the mystical Trimurti. From that time, Venus, purified under the veil of Mary, will no more weep for her Adonis. The bridegroom is risen to die no more, and the infernal boar has found death in its momentary victory. Lift yourselves up again, O temples of Delphi and of Ephesius. Light, the god of light and of art, has become the god of the world, and the word of God is indeed willing to be called Apollo. Diana will no more reign widowed in the lonely fields of night. Her silvern crescent is now beneath the feet of the bride. But Diana is not conquered by Venus. Her Endymion has wakened, and virginity is about to take pride in motherhood. Quit the tomb, O Phidias, and rejoice in the destruction of thy first Jupiter. It is now that thou wilt conceive a god. O Rome, let thy temples rise again, and side by side with thy basilicas be once more the queen of the world and the pantheon of the nations. Let Virgil be crowned on the Capitol by the hand of St. Peter, and let Olympus and Carmel unite the divinities beneath the brush of Raphael. Transfigure yourselves, ancient cathedrals of our fathers, dart forth into the clouds your chiseled and living arrows, and let stone record in animated figures the dark legends of the north, brightened by the marvelous gilded epilogues of the Quran. Let the East adore Jesus Christ in its mosques, and on the minarets of a new Santa Sofia, let the cross rise in the midst of the crescent. Let Muhammad set woman free to give to the true believer the Horus or the Houris, which she has so long dreamt of. And let the martyrs of the Savior teach chaste caresses to the beautiful angels of Muhammad. The whole earth reclothed with the rich adornments which all the arts have embroidered for her will no longer be anything but a magnificent temple of which man shall be the eternal priest. All that was true, all that was beautiful, all that was sweet in the past centuries will live once more glorified in this transfiguration of the world, and the beautiful form will remain inseparable from the true idea, as the body will one day be inseparable from the soul. When the soul come to its own power, will have made itself a body in its own image, it will be the kingdom of heaven upon earth. And the body will be the temple of the soul, as the regenerated universe will be the body of God, and bodies and souls and form and thought in the whole universe will be the light, the sword, the word, and the permanent and visible revelation of God. Amen. So be it. Subnote, it says, it is amusing to remark that this very symbol is characteristic of the Greek church. That's the crescent, which he has been attacking. Levi should have visited Moscow. Okay, number 17, the equinox. 16 is the number of the star. It is that of intelligence and love. Warrior and bold intelligence, accomplice of divine Prometheus, eldest daughter of Lucifer. Hail unto thee in thine audacity. Thou didst wish to know, and in order to possess, thou didst brave all the thunders, and affronted every abyss. Intelligence, O thou, whom we poor sinners have loved to madness, to scandal, to reprobation, divine right of man, essence and soul of liberty, hail unto thee, for they have pursued thee, and trampling beneath their feet for thee the deadest dreams of their imagination, the best beloved phantoms of their heart. For thee they have been repulsed and proscribed. For thee they have suffered prison, nakedness, hunger, thirst, the desertion of those whom they loved, and the dark temptations of despair. Thou wast the right, and they have conquered thee. Now they can weep and believe. Now they can submit themselves and pray. Repentant Cain would have been greater than Abel. It is lawful, pride, satisfied, which has the right to humiliate itself. I believe because I know why and how one must believe. I believe because I love and fear no more. Love, love, sublime Redeemer and sublime Restorer, thou who makest so much happiness with so many tortures, thou who didst sacrifice blood and tears, thou who art virtue itself, and the reward of virtue, force of resignation, belief of obedience, joy of sorrow, life and death. Hail Megatron! Welcome back to another exciting episode of the Muslims versus Megatron of Catholicism.
Correct. I like the title of this room. That's why I came in here. I really felt like I got something back by kicking 65 Muslims today out of a room, out of just a short time too, about 4 hours. Coming back in the room.
Let the games begin. Let the games begin.
They keep flagging my room.
I know. You know, it's really annoying. I have YouTube accounts that keep going down for community guideline strikes for hate speech, and I'm sitting there playing music, just live streaming Clubhouse in the background. When I stop playing music, somebody says something ridiculous, and it's like, you know, you can't even live stream. Clubhouse is hard to live stream because there's just so much profanity, vulgarity, and extreme concept, and you know, it's a cesspool. I call it the garbage dump, really. And I'm like a garbage man who goes around collecting garbage daily. And the greatest thing about my garbage business is I don't have to make the trip to the dump. That's the coolest thing. It's like a magic garbage truck, you know, because the hard part about doing the garbage picking is, you know, you can only pick up so much garbage. But then you got to spend hours driving far away from the city center to just dump all the garbage. And then people on Clown House go to the garbage dump to pick up my garbage and bring it back to Clubhouse. It's like, you know, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. I mean, who would have ever thought that you could spend so much time collecting garbage only to have the garbage be brought back to where you picked it up? It's a garbage mystery. Some say garbage in, garbage out. But I say, you know, got to pick and choose, you know, the garbage you want to hang on to, I guess. Because you can't destroy it. It's just like infinite amounts of garbage. And, you know, garbage. Allahu Akbar. It's so crazy to think that, you know, after we know how Muslim men do LGBTQ, like in Afghanistan with Bachi Bazi, to think that that hadith, you know, about Aisha being a boy is controversial. Let alone, they're not even concerned about the fact that he's raping a a child. They're more concerned that it's a boy and not a girl because that would make the prophet gay. But how are they not even concerned that he's raping a child? I don't get it. Like, did they just miss that?
I'm trying to give them an out by saying, well, maybe it was a boy, and this is what like men did when they got older. Back then, this was like royalty. I'm trying to run them down this thing that like the Jews did during the Second Temple period. I'm trying to like go, oh well, he wanted to be more Jewish possibly, or like more like Paul or some shit, right? And I'm trying to fucking to just they won't even budge on it. They'd rather her still be a girl than be a boy. It's fucking disturbing.
No, but that because she was a boy.
Thank you for admitting that. You know how long it took me for someone to admit that? Thank you so much. I've been waiting for God knows how long for somebody to admit that.
Hi, Mom.
I appreciate that.
Excuse me.
No, I appreciate that because
You're welcome.
I still think she's still disappointed.
Barth, let me ask you a question. Do you believe in the papacy?
Papacy?
The Pope. Are you a follower of the Pope of the Catholic Church? You are, correct?
Papacy, the papacy.
Papacy. Are you're so
Papacy, yeah.
okay, so you believe in the infallibility of the Pope, correct?
No.
So then describe to me, how would you describe the Pope?
Man in office.
Okay, so he's just the president, basically. That's what Pope means.
That's what I meant.
He's the president of the Christian faith, or Christendom in a way, for the West. But then he's got all these offshoots that he's got to deal with. Like, did you know there's a Pope in Spain? Have you seen that Pope and his videos and the magnificence of that church?
Yeah.
Unbelievable. I see it on Facebook all the time.
The Spanish Pope, Alexander.
Anyways, my point is, I was going to ask this earlier in your room, but you kicked me to the goo. And my question is, like, even if, we debate like a million different conversations and, you've got an infinite time to do all the debates, I've heard it said that the now is always the point. And so in that way, the material world, or, the subjective world, is ultimately always the point of the subjective. So how do you rationalize what you do, knowing that, in my opinion, obviously, I'm framing it this way, that the now is ultimately always back to the point. I like your style and your shtick, and I think the God conversation is the way to go, but you're always left with the same outcome. So how do you do you concur with that in a way or no? Hello?
I think you're right. I think you're right. I think that I am a glutton for punishment. And I've tried my best to make peace with the Muslims. But I think my arguments are so potent. They're so strong that it's very difficult for them to respond without the whataboutism. And you know how I roll. Once they do the whataboutism, that's it. It's a wrap. They're saying, yeah, but what about you? You get and I don't want them to concede. I want them to fucking respond and shut it down. Like, I think the arguments are so strong, they're so potent. It's like, you know what it is? It's like when you break up and you just keep the keys. Those are my arguments. My argument on Keith
German soldiers started applying. They can't figure out how to open this.
It's going to compare to incidents like we. And I'm told I have to lose arguments in order to speak to them.
Why do you think the Ottoman Empire banned, bells, in the Muslim faith? Like, why would they ban bells? Because I see Islam as being like a way to essentially negate dopamine in order to maintain the concept of Allah. And so, like, by covering women, by not having bells, by doing the opposite of what Christians do, they, create their simulation or their in group. So I'm just saying that, the bell is mystical. And I mean, they may say you can't ring bells, but like by doing that, that's like putting a prohibition on it. And thus it makes it even more intoxicating and exciting to, revolt against the government and ring a bell. Hello? And many people ask me regularly, what's the truth of the earth? And do you know about death and birth? And I just say that the truth of the earth and the truth about death and birth really is always the NOW. And backwards that spells one, not O-N-E, but W-O-N. And that's the truth of the earth and about birth and death. And silence is ultimately what you're left with at the end of the day. Hello? And I want to thank you, Barf.
I love you, babe. Love you, babe. Hurry up back.
He loves his babe. That's love. That's love.
I love you, babe.
Okay, we were doing what's called a book reading here. I call it meditation. But this is the number 17. Oh, this is an interesting question for you. Repentant Cain would have been greater.
My prescription was only $8 and it went down. $8.84. Wow, look at that. That's a whole lot of. I don't know, I must have done something, yeah. Right, sorry about that.
Repentant Cain would have been greater than Abel. It is lawful pride satisfied which has the right to humiliate itself. I believe because I know why and how one must believe. I believe because I love and fear no more. Love, sublime Redeemer and sublime Restorer, thou who makest so much happiness, with so many tortures, thou who didst sacrifice blood and tears, thou who art virtue itself, and the reward of virtue, force of resignation, belief of obedience, joy of sorrow, life of death, hail, salutation, and glory to thee. If intelligence is a lamp, thou art its flame. If it is right, thou art duty. If it is nobility, thou art happiness. Love, full of pride and modesty in thy mysteries, divine love, hidden love, love insensate and sublime, Titan, who takest heaven in both hands and forcest it to earth, final and ineffable secret of Christian widowhood, love eternal, love infinite, ideal which would suffice to create worlds, love, love, blessing and glory to thee, glory to the intelligences which veil themselves that they may not offend weak eyes, glory to right which transforms itself wholly into duty and which becomes devotion. To the widowed souls who love, burn up without being loved, to those who suffer and make none other suffer, to those who forgive the ungrateful, to those who love their enemies, oh, happy evermore, happy beyond all are those who embrace poverty, who have drained themselves to the dregs to give. Happy are the souls who forever make thy peace. Happy the pure and the simple hearts that never think themselves better than others. Humanity, my mother. Humanity, daughter and mother of God. Humanity, conceived without sin. Universal Church. Mary. Happy is he who has dared all to know thee and to understand thee, and who is ready to suffer all once more in order to serve thee and to love thee.
Yo, Leonardus, you want to know my type? Danny's my type. 100%.
I love that man.
Oh my god. So my type. I'm not even joking.
I love her so much.
Yeah, she's fucking great.
Danny, welcome to the Muslims versus the Megatron of Catholicism. Megatron is saying you remind him of Mary, that sweet, blissful, beautiful, happy innocence.
Okay, that's Metatron with a T.
No. We're talking to Megatron in another room, Todd.
Oh, are you? Okay. Oh, okay, it's a cartoon. I'm sorry.
Metatron is the angel.
Yeah, sorry. That's what it looked like at first. If you're doing Muslim, and then you had Megatron, then you need Metatron, not Megatron.
No. We got Megatron, the Barth of Catholicism, in another room leading a fight. He has already excommunicated 60 heretics today.
I don't fully understand, but okay. Archangel Metatron.
Okay, I just removed Todd from the room because there's just too much background noise there to deal with right now. We're trying to have a soft, quiet space.
So soft.
Primo is here. By the way, I also have Issa the Cunt show going on in the Issa Watermelon House. Issa okay to do that? Some people get upset. They're like, why do you have so many phones? Why do you have so many Clubhouse accounts? And I just say, why do you have so many questions? You know, like, why do I make you so angry? What is it about me? Is it me personally? Like, is it my life? Is it my communication style? Is it my aesthetic? Is it my smell?
It's your ability to come in and hypnotize people, and a lot of people get very jealous because they can't do that. They don't, even if they study, they're not talented enough to know how to do it. When they get very upset, they get very jealous, and they get very,
Jealousy.
Yeah.
Anger. Envy. What's the opposite of envy? Love?
The opposite of the opposite of love is apathy. It's not hate. The opposite of envy.
No, envy is lust.
Envy is not lust. Envy is
The opposite.
No.
the opposite of envy is not lust. Envy is
Yes,
like
it is.
no.
That's ChatGPT. Fulfillment. The opposite could be fulfilled. You know.
Fulfillment, exactly.
We got the Coon Creek
Yeah,
here.
that's lust.
How is fulfillment lust?
No. You
Lust
said
is
the
a negation.
opposite.
Yeah, the opposite.
The opposite of envy.
Of envy.
It's acceptance.
I said love because envy is like covetousness.
Yes, actually, you're right.
And so if you want to love your neighbor, you would not practice envy. You would practice love. I mean, anyways, you get the point. Anyways,
love is acceptance.
well, look at
You need to look this up because I
What
think
is
I'm
it?
wrong, right?
Generosity.
the problem with the word apathy is if you break it down, it's apathy, a path. So people use apathy always in a negative light, and I would challenge that assumption. Hello?
Hello? I think goodwill would be perhaps the most apt antonym for envy.
We got Rubenchik here. Rubenchik loves to open rooms and just sit there, cool as a clam, letting people just like destroy themselves with their narrative. That's the Rubenchik shtick.
Poor Ruben. Yeah, he's so cool. He's so kind.
See, if you let people talk enough, ultimately they become the hypocrite. I've realized that. Like at a bar, I'm sitting there talking. And after so many years of talking, I said to this, F word. I was like, you know what? I was like, eventually, you just become a hypocrite if you just keep talking long enough. And he was like, exactly, bitch. I was like, yep, hypocrite. So, this is the Church of Butter and Cup. Your life is what you put inside your cup. I hope it's sweet like butter. Not many people view fat as being sweet, but when I drink whole milk, it's sweet to me. Delicious. Do you live your life with envy? Do you wish you were as good as the Megatron, as good as Dr. Good himself? Are you jealous that his communication style is efficacious and his knowledge of epistemology and ontology is supreme? Just can't beat him, so might as well join him. That's what I say. Oh, we have a surprise guest star. Welcome to the show, the world famous Abby Eva, destroyer of worlds. Hello, Abby. I think Abby has waged a very successful military campaign against the far right. Ultra direction.
Why would you say that?
She deserves a moderation.
You've destroyed the world for these people. And look, Brother Keegan is here. He was so upset with me. You were lying about Brad. You never called the police. Well, brother, don't you know sometimes just putting it out there is good enough? And that's really what a mind virus is.
No, do not turn. You're shifting. You're turning the tables. You're creating revisionist history. You said to everyone you lied. You're not a man of honor.
I will not be insulted on my stage. I'm no liar, sir. I've told you completely what I've done. Just put it out there on X. We will play these childish games with Keegan. Get back to work. Get back to the auto shop. So, Abby, you are in the Church of Butter and Cup. I hope your cup is always sweet, overflowing with joy, and
And you were right. The opposite of it's not lust. I was wrong. It's charity.
Charity, that's the
Generosity,
word.
like Danny said.
Yeah, charity, generosity, and stuff like that.
Goodwill, admiration.
Charity
Yeah,
is
that's
the
the
magic.
opposite. Yeah. I'm thinking lust because I saw Danny came into the room, and that's all I could think of is the word lust, and I couldn't get right. Just
Danny has such a crush on you.
whatever. I'm over it.
She's just real. That's why I like real people. I do too.
All right, we're going to continue this blessed sacred meditation. This is page 66. The gospel says that at the death of the Savior, the veil of the temple was rent, because that death manifested the triumph of devotion, the miracle of charity, the power of God in man, divine humanity, the human and human divinity, the highest and most sublime of arcana, the last word of all initiations. But the Savior knew that at first man would not understand him, and he said, "You will not be able to bear at present the full light of my doctrine. But when the Spirit of truth shall manifest himself, he will teach you all truth, and he will cause you to understand the sense of what I have said unto you." Now, the Spirit of truth is the spirit of science and intelligence, the spirit of force and of counsel. It is that spirit which solemnly manifested itself in the when it declared in the 4 articles of its decree on the 12th of December, 1845, first degree, that if faith is superior to reason, reason ought to endorse the inspirations of faith. Second degree, that faith and science have each their separate domain, and that the one should not usurp the functions of the other. Third degree, that it is proper for faith and grace not to weaken, but on the contrary to strengthen and develop a reason. Fourth degree, that the concourse of reason, which examines not the decisions of faith, but the natural and rational bases of the authority which decides them, far from injuring faith, can only be useful to it. In other words, that a faith perfectly reasonable in its principles should not fear, but should, on the contrary, desire the sincere examination of reason. Such a decree is the accomplishment of a complete religious revolution. It is the inauguration of the reign of the Holy Ghost upon the earth. What is the Holy Ghost, Earth? This is a mystery to me.
You want an Old Testament or a New Testament explanation?
Let's go with the new.
The Holy Spirit is the love that spirates from the Father and the Son. So once the Father and the Son, the two knowers, know it, and they reveal it through the Spirit. So in Genesis 1:1 and 1:2, he's going to say, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Right? That's the Word. The Word is creating. The earth was formless and deep as the Spirit of God hovered over. I think he hovers over the deep or something like that. I think I botched that one. But yeah, so you see Father, Son, and Holy Spirit right in the beginning there. That's the reason why John, the prologue for John 1:1 is in the beginning was the Word. And the Word was with God, and the Word was God. Because the Word is God. The Word became flesh and dwelt among us. In other words, the Logos, the eternal God, became a man and lived like a man among us. He was identified, he was numbered with the transgressors. Yo, that's how I know sometimes, bro. Not for nothing, Smiler, but I think your boy, honestly, man, and I love that he does it too. I think he listens into our conversations sometimes to get some input, to get some influence. Like, yo, we had a good ass run for like a good month, and when he was debating the Jake the Italian metaphysician, the Italian Muslim metaphysician, and he brought up that 2946, and I've heard him say he was identified, numbered with the transgressors. That I'm the only nigga out here saying shit like that. He said it. I'm thinking to myself like, yo, he must have heard me, bro. He must have heard me. Because that's some straight up fucking what's that guy's name again? The one that I gave you? Billy Graham? Oh shit. I get on my Billy Graham, it's a rap. Who do they say that I am? He said, no, Peter. I don't care what they say. What do you say? Who do you say that I am? God the Christ, the Son of the living God. Peter, you did well, Peter. But those weren't your thoughts. Those thoughts came from God. It was God who revealed it to you. I love the Billy Graham, man. You gotta listen to that. Listen, you have, Mr. Universe, you have to listen to Who is Jesus by Billy Graham in 1973. Is it 73 or 77? I forget. You might be 77. Hey, guys, enough. You're gonna hurt each other. And stop jumping on the couch with the iPads on the thing. Put it over there, the iPad.
Hello?
Hello?
I heard you say something interesting once. I think I heard you say that Jesus freed the Gnostics. Or Jesus frees the Gnostics.
I never said that. Did I say that? I heard you say that.
I thought I heard you say it one time. Oh, no, you plugged the link. You put a link up, and it was some Gnostic book or something. But it said something in there that Jesus even frees the Gnostics. And I was like, does that mean because, like, basically doing duality versus non-duality? So, like, if you're always in the non-dual state, basically you're, like, addicted to being in union with God. And that can ultimately, it has to be a fine balance. You know, too much is too much because then you neglect the objective material world, and your garbage doesn't get taken out, and your dishes don't get washed. Hello?
Yes. Jesus was the duality in us. He makes the model complex in order for our realization for material.
The only religion that has ever been truly dualistic with and it's kept to it is Zoroastrianism.
Yes.
It's the sure as dualistic when it talks about evil. But you see, when I asked Mr. Mikael, aka Cynic, aka Illumi, I asked him once and it made him feel really uncomfortable. I said, what is the distinction, or what are the commonalities of the devil and Christ? And he kind of shelled up. He kind of thought I was trolling. And I'm like, no. I'm like, do you not realize that this is the book of Job? This is Zechariah chapter 3. This is like, there's always going to, it's because the Christian religion is not dualistic. It's not about good and evil.
No, it's not.
It's not. And when you compare, right, when we have the devil, Satan, or should I say Lucifer, right, and Jesus, right, he's saying to you almost like, just as good as Jesus is, he is that representation also of the bad. And you know what? Some people are just not comfortable with that.
So,
and that's the reason why you ever look in the Vatican and they have that big, huge thing, the black thing that looks like, you know, like they're in it looks like they're in hell or something. That big, huge black. You'll see it. It's in the Vatican. It's in one of their newest cathedrals or whatever, and it looks like this hell like going on in the background, right? Because that's what it represents. You know, he is the light of justice, but he's also, you know, the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords, the one that he knows no one's name, the fire in his eyes, the tongue as sharp as a sword. He's dripped in blood. Like, he's not playing.
Ahura Mazda and Ahriman, where like one is a supreme being, right? That which is truth, light, versus Ahriman, which is in who all evil is sourced, right? And this duality solves the problem of evil, basically. One can posit evil to Ahriman and posit all goodness to the Ahura Mazda. It's monotheistic and yet dualistic in its model. I think it's brilliant.
Well, there's a saying in Zen that I came from brilliance and I return to brilliance. So, you know, we hope that every man and every woman can come to the realization that they themselves are a star. And Clown House is the microcosm of the macrocosm, because we are all on a stage and we are all stars. And when you understand, you know, the opportunity cost of being here versus being outside in the sun, taking a jog through the park, and looking at the little squirrels saying, "Give me a peanut." Or you see a little bunny rabbit like Abby run around, shocked when you say, "Where's the coupons?" And she goes, "I don't have any coupons." You know? So the purpose of the Church of Buttercup is not Reese's, it's not chocolate, and it's not even peanut butter. It's you who are the cup. And what you put inside of yourself every day is very important, because everyone likes to cook in butter. Oh, Nora Bandura is here. Maybe we can fill up Nora with some more light today instead of all the darkness of the far right and her lover, Nora and Diego. Little sexual conflict there still. Never really quite had sex. I never had sex with that woman, Miss Lewinsky. Well, everybody, you are now witnessing the most exciting room on Clown House. The Muslims versus the Megatron of Catholicism. Megatron, if you had one message to all the Muslims on the whole planet Earth right now, what would you want all the Muslim brains across the entire planet to know? Almighty Megatron.
Jesus will never be a Muslim.
Jesus will never be a Muslim.
Lord Jesus.
Lord Jesus, King, Son of the Father, will never, ever, ever be a Muslim. But you got respect for Islam, right? Because it is a world religion, and that really is a monolith. And there are three major monoliths, but one of the three.
No, I do not respect any religion who desecrates Christ. So they're going to hell. I really want to tell them they're going to fucking hell for desecrating Christ and for building on the Temple Mount. That's really what I want to tell. That's really what I say to them on a daily basis. Like, your Umar, the Jew, cursed you guys. He cursed your religion. Because if he knew the scriptures, he would have read 2 Thessalonians chapter 1 through 12, and it's exactly who the man of perdition is. He sets himself up in the temple of God, saying that he is God. That's exactly what Islam did with Muhammad. They're saying that his words in that book is God.
Well,
and then they built on the Temple Mount. So I wish them all the best. I really do. I wish them all the best, but all of the shortcomings, all of the things that are happening to them are going to continue to happen to them, because as long as they think that Jesus is going to come back, to break the cross, kill the pig, ask the trees where the Jews are hiding, as long as they keep this in their doctrine, they're going to hell.
Okay. So thanks for that, Almighty Megatron. We do have some Muslims in the audience, and I was looking at what Nora Bandora has in her profile, and it's very beautiful and wonderful. And I would just say that I find that to be, most expeditious or expedited. The thing is, you don't want to wait in a long line with no coupons. If you have to wait in a long line, well, you better have some coupons. And so in the Church of Buttercup, we're very much focused on what we listen to and what we say. And if we have to talk slowly because we don't want to rush, well, that's okay. The truth of the earth from your birth to your death. With all the knowledge of the earth and your birth and your death. The truth of the earth. With no good book, and if you don't even go to the gym and you don't stretch, well, you're going to have lower back pain. And that's a truth that you can't get out from under without having to do the work of stretching and breathing. Not many Christians or Muslims are going to do a class on breathing, but they should, because breathing is the truth of the earth. Because if you stop breathing, there will be no more earth, there will be no more birth, just your death. And when you're deaf, it doesn't just mean you can't hear nothing. It really means that you can't ever hear anything ever again because you've experienced death. And that's the truth of the earth. Don't die. Now you are alive. But you want to stay alive for as long as you can to experience the truth of the earth all the time. Because it's beautiful and it's lovely and it's intelligent. It's not Smiler. Welcome to the Muslims versus the Megatron of Catholicism. What is your truth, Dr. Schomburg?
What is truth?
No, what is your truth? For example, half this room is just my other cell phones, but it gives the illusion that there's more people here than there truly is when it's just me multiplied multiple times over. And I just want to point out the truth that Isa is a cunt in another room, but the Lord here is not Isa, but it gives the feeling that Isa is here. And the funny thing about Isa is she has conditioned so many people on this app with this stupid PTR. But the truth is, doesn't matter how many times you condition someone, if you are a cunt, it won't really matter. You can condition your other people with cunt philosophy. But the truth for the earth is that a cunt is a cunt. And you gotta do your cunt. And you gotta clean it. And I think a lot of cunts out there, they're always talking about this pH level. And we all know, what is the perfect pH number? Is it 4? Anyways. It's neither here nor there. Oh, 7, that's right. 7. And if you're a 4, are you a base or are you an acid?
Acid.
You're an acid. So I guess the point is you don't want an acidic cunt and you don't want a basic cunt. You want to maintain that perfect 7. Now I'm willing to go out with a 7, but if I can get to an 8 or a 9, oy vey, or a 10. 10 is truly the most perfect number because it represents the universe. And that universe can be represented by the Holy Kabbalah. Not many Christians or Jews or Catholics or Muslims will ever admit that the philosophy of the Kabbalah is actually the totality of all the religions mixed into one bubblegum that you can put in your mouth and chew like a curd. Now, if you want to become like a cow and say moo, that's okay, because moo is a 3-letter word and mo is a 2-letter word. And Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon that magical man. Welcome, Mr. Wolfie. The Muslims versus the Megatron, the final battle. Megatron, what's the second message you'd like all the Muslims on planet Earth to know, other than that Jesus will never become a Muslim?
Jesus will never be a Muslim. No matter how many fake files are in this room.
I know you've already said that. We don't want to be redundant. We want a
I'm
new
sorry. I'm
revelation.
just repeating what you said. All right, I'm sorry. Let me start over. If any Muslim condemns the what's this guy's name again? The conspiracy now with the files. What was his name again?
Epstein.
Ernst talking about the state. What is it called again? What is it called?
What are you asking?
Who's the guy that has this the prostitution ring? What's his name?
Jeffrey Epstein.
Epstein. If any Muslim condemns Epstein, they are literally condemning their prophet. That's it.
Could you repeat that again for us, Megatron?
If they think the Epstein thing is bad, then you know, then they're condemning Muhammad. Because how could they think that what he did was bad, but then are okay defending that their morality is for all time, but then in the same sentence contradict themselves and say, well, that was then and this is now. Well, that doesn't work. Then the morality, so then it does change. No, it doesn't change. And you're like, wait. Okay, so will you marry off your daughter when she's 9?
Well, you know, Megatron.
Think of the conversation. Megatron. We're having it for Muslims.
This is a little bit like people who think that we have to increase spending with education or with Medicare, Medicaid. We can't spend our way out of this problem. We have to grow our way out of this problem. And until individuals can admit that, you know, growth or more moral understanding or knowledge of the law, you know, unless people are willing to admit that they're fools, they'll never grow out of this dilemma. And, you know, look at Epstein. He's 99.99%, you know, gone, dead and buried, probably cremated, who knows. And, you know, Bill Gates is giggling on TV and he's still talking about mass vaccination. Some people are obsessed with certain topics and categories. For some people, the vaccine is the sexiest thing in the world to them because they know governments will continue to borrow and spend to manufacture them. And it is a national geostrategic security issue because, you know, we are still investing in biolabs at scale and researching chemical, biological, you know, warfare. And it's madness. But it's neither here nor there in the Church of Buttercup. I see we have Caleb in the audience. And, you know, Buttercup and Emrose were in the room earlier. And I just got to say, Emrose wants all of us to be terrified. She said it yesterday. She said, you should all be terrified. We should all be terrified. Because if they can do this to the Palestinians, they can do this to us. And that type of fear-mongering is not based in wisdom, knowledge, understanding, or any type of comprehension at all with regards to God. And that's why they keep saying nonstop their mantra is, this is not a religious war. They have to keep repeating that to themselves because it is a confirmation bias of their position. And so, you know, I like you, Barth, because you want to talk about the GOD, and that's great. And education is great, but fear-mongering and political propaganda and distorting facts and causing emotional disturbances by kicking over hornets' nests, it's just going to take, you know, a highly vaccinated, double-boosted, triple-vax, you know, liberal, leftist, socialist, communist, atheist to basically do their shtick, which is performative artwork, and to kick over hornet's nest and scream like a banshee. Hello? Hello? Sheikh, are you in Palestine on your connecting flight to Iran?
Yeah, just a little bit over turbulence over here in Pakistan. They're celebrating 4th of July during this time of the year.
Too bad. I hear that they, Barth had a great room earlier about Aisha's box and whether or not she served in the military conquest campaigns. Barth, did you ever come to any resolution whether or not Aisha was a boy involved in a pedophilic homosexual relationship with Muhammad?
They'd rather defend their prophet, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, and call him they'd rather call him a child abuser of women than call him a homosexual. I'm trying to give them outs. I even asked ChatGPT, and you know what ChatGPT said to me, because it knows me so well. I'm going to tell you what it it said to me, right? And it said, why you might feel this way, Garth. Let's explore that rationally. Discomfort with the age reports, 6 or 9 narrations in Bukhari and Muslim. The psychological difficulty accepting the narrative. Wanting a clear alternative explanation. That explicit makes sense emotionally, Barb. Historically, if you want strong arguments in this debate, you need defensible grounding, and we don't have it. So it's telling me, I understand why you're emotional, why you want to find an out, why you feel the need to try this, to go down this road of trying to eliminate a female from this action so that it looks like he has a little sense of dignity in saying that he wouldn't fuck a 9-year-old girl. Like, I want that for him. I'd rather say he was in his desires than actually be that fucking devil, garbage human being. You understand? Like, he can reconcile the boy thing. We can reconcile the boy thing. Like, her being a girl, I'm not so sure if any man can reconcile that. You know, that boy would have grew up and fucked Muhammad. You get what I'm saying? That boy would have grew up and said, blow me, motherfucker, and he would have done it. It's not the same. It's not
Point of order, moderator.
Taking advantage of a girl that is helpless.
Point of order,
I'm
moderator.
just stuck. I want to reconcile. I want clarity.
I think they destroyed the original Quran, and now we don't know this information. Otherwise, we would have seen the same exact rights Aisha had with other women in modern days.
You know, I like to say, you know, are you willing to die on this hill? Because a lot of people just want to do redundancies and repetitions. And that's cool if it's successful. You know, if you've got a shtick that people have become hypnotized with, well, then you found some type of formula for essentially getting people to return. And a return customer is the basis of a good business. You can't launch a new business every day and rebrand. It's got to be consistent. And I think Megatron has always preached consistency as the root of success. And Narjas here is saying there's so much hate, but I would say Narjas is technically spending a lot of time in hate rooms. This isn't a hate room in any way, shape, or form. This is the final battle. I hope that this room will once and for all eliminate all future debates and conversations. For Catholics and Christians, Jews and Hindus, Buddhists and Muslims, I hope that this room will satisfy all receipts and demands and debts, and we can pay it all off with a public note instrument. That instrument might be Freemasonry, ladies and gentlemen, because that's a brotherhood where Muslims, Jews, and Catholics, guess what, come together, but they have to declare a one God. And it's not just that they declare they believe in a God, but they declare their faith in the one G-O-D. Point of order, moderator.
But the other thing too is men of different faiths come together in prison.
Shake, hold on a second. Narja is speaking, and she's requested a point of order.
Thank you. Not Christian or Jew or Muslim.
not Hindu, Buddhist, Sufi, or Zen, not any religion or cultural system. I am not from the east nor from the west. I am not from the ocean or from the ground. I am not natural or inorganic. I am not composed of any elements at all. I do not exist. I am not an entity in this world or of the next. I did not descend from Adam or Eve or any origin story. My place is the placeless, a trace of the traceless. I am neither body nor soul. I belong to the beloved. I have seen the two worlds only as one, and that one call to and know, the first, the last, the outer, the inner, only that breath, the breathing human being. That's what I am.
Okay, do we have a Muslim to respond? If you want to get modded to kick this kafir to the goo, you can do that if that'll make you feel fulfilled in your faith.
Can I respond to the Muslim person?
Yeah, go ahead.
This is the utmost interesting topic. Not only do men come together of different faiths in Freemasonry, but different men of different faiths come together in prison.
Okay. We also have Joanna. Welcome, Joanna, to the stage. You know, I feel like Joanna and our great Megatron here are like cousins or brothers and sisters. You two sound like you're from the same family. That's not true, right, Joanna?
Oh, Megatron, who else?
I said you and Barth sound like you're from the same family.
Yeah, we live next door. I know Megatron in real life.
Wow.
What do they call it? IRL?
Small
what, you
world.
can hear it?
Small world.
Well, it's a small world. Here it is, right here.
Well, this is going to be the last and final room of all time for all religious debates here on the app. It's the final battle in the Church of Buttercup. We hope to once and for all satisfy all curiosity, all demands, all exceptions to the debate, the never-ending, endless debate that Barth and others have been creating here day after day. And today, Barth admitted that he was so proud because he kicked 60 Muslims out of his room. It made him feel great, like he was cleaning up the streets or something.
Like deportation.
Is Barth an ICE agent? It's all making sense now. He's a Clubhouse ICE agent. Oh no, I've got to alert the liberals. They're putting together a room. Oh my God. They're not illegals. They're trying to become legal. It's the law.
I know 4 people got deported already.
Oh my God. You know, well, you know what's his face on here, right?
Yeah.
He claims that he got deported to Mexico. I think he's full of shit. He's fucking.
What's this thing? No, I think it's true. I have some kind of evidence.
Oh, really?
I'm afraid to say it.
Edmund, who is it?
We don't have to say his name.
Alright, I'll write it in the chat.
Diego?
No.
Okay, write it and delete it after.
I'm drawing a blank. It'll come to me.
It is crap.
So I want to thank everybody
You
coming.
can delete it. I don't know this guy.
Yeah, Hermes. So I want to thank everybody for coming. This is a meditation room because Clubhouse is nothing but toxicity. So let's maintain our equilibrium.
Point of order moderated.
Exactly. Robert's rules.
Really?
Yeah, look up Robert's rules.
Oh, I thought you meant Roberts.
Oh, Robert Taylor. He's casting me in movies. He's a horrible director, producer. His movies are really shitty. I'm like, for a guy who loves movies, he loves movies so much, but he can't put together anything. He can't even write. It's like, see, the thing is, you're a good writer if you're a good reader. turns out that reading and writing are like the same thing. And if you read somebody who's really well written, well, that makes you a good writer if you read their book. And I've been reading a lot of good books.
I wrote 3 books. They're on Amazon. Can I get?
Yeah, I know. You're awesome. Put the link in the chat again. You did a great job with your business there.
Oh, yeah. I got 200 this month.
You made $200?
Yeah, but I want to go bigger. I want to get it out there. Like, I wrote to Oprah. But they never read their mail,
No, they're not going to publish you unless they got like an interest or like you're involved in a pedo ring or something. Yeah, maybe you should start a cult. And
I love cults.
Yeah, not many people really think about it, but if you think about it, you could claim that everything is. You could claim that everything is a cult.
I do. I think about cults all the time.
Because a call and a T, you're just calling people into categories. That's really all cults are. And so if you claim that you're a cult deprogrammer, well, guess what? You run a cult of cult deprogramming. And so I've been reading about how to decondition people from very hardcore cults, because there's a lot of really crazy cults out there in the Hindu faith, in the Jewish faith. And many of these people are trapped and they can't get out. They've got no other options. They can't operate in a secular world. They don't know how to go to the grocery store and save money with coupons. They don't know how to create a Craigslist account.
That's what I'm here for. That's why I wrote books,
You wrote a book, I'll read it.
Yeah, about how to save coupons in Germany, even though we don't have coupons.
My daughter saves people from cults. That's what she does since she went to a cult. Yeah.
Oh, that's much more interesting, honey. For me, it's just to save a few cents on a grocery.
The coupon cult. Yeah, my daughter saves people. It's called Healing from a Cult. Healing from Cults. She has a business. She has a website. She has a YouTube. She has a podcast.
Fatima.
And she hypnotizes people to get them deprogrammed. She's a hypnotherapist like you.
Blue.
Universe.
Blue, welcome to the room, Blue.
Hey, Blue. True Blue, baby, I love you.
Blue moon. Let's think about songs that have the word blue in it.
Blue balls.
Oh, good. Blue suede shoes.
Blue suede shoes. I love blue velvet.
Zaleni, welcome to the room, Zaleni.
You're so bad.
Zaleni is a trans. Well, look out, everybody. We have a they, them on stage.
Is that for real?
One for the money, 2 for the show.
3 to get ready and 4 to go. Okay, everybody. Again, you're in the final battle. There will be no more battles after the final battle. That's what makes it the final battle. We're going all in. We're going all in. Mark the date. Today's the final battle, February 16th, 2026. This is the final battle, the battle of all battles. We will once and for all determine whether or not God exists, number 1. And number 2, we will solve the mystery of all faiths and world religions. And we will ultimately get to the truth through the final battle. We're going to use AI. We're going to use comedy. We're going to use art. We're going to use genius and intelligence and love to get to the final solution. And then we're going to print it out. And we're going
What, the 3-step rule?
We're going to print it out and put it on the wall with a little thumbtack. And we're going to timestamp it with a stamp and sign it, and that'll be it. And there'll be no longer a need to ever spend another minute on this app, unless it's a roast and we're making fun of people, of course. But this will be the final battle between all the world's Catholics, all the Jews throughout the world, and all the Hindus, the 1 billion plus Hindus on the planet, and the 800 million Buddhists, and the 1.1 billion Muslims from Indonesia to Saudi Arabia to Iran and Oman, to Yemen, and even to Vancouver and Toronto, we give you the final battle. In the left corner, we have a Muslim. In the right corner, we've got a Jew. In the northeast corner, we got a Christian Catholic. And in the northwest corner, we got a Buddhist. In the southwest corner, we got a Hindu. And in the center, we have the final battle. Arm yourselves and prepare for battle. Grab your Bibles, grab your Qurans, grab your Bhagavad Gitas, and bring your best quotes and best verses in this theological, never-ending, ontological, etymological debate. This ontological, eschatological, theological, universal debate about words, endless definitions about the debates on the definitions of words. Like, for example, what does the word mean with a capital W? A word, the word. We're still debating words, and we already know that the capital W is the capital G-O-D, not the little G-O-D. Hello? The Church of Buttercup is proud to sponsor this all-hands final battle. And you could call this the Clubhouse Apocalypse, the final countdown to the ultimate and final battle of the universe. We finally did it. It only took us 6 years of wasting time debating definitions for the sake of ESL speakers in other countries that want to try to learn English, native English, But we did it. We've exposed all the haters, all the crash outs, all the neurological disorders, the psychotics and the sociologically deranged. You can call them sociopaths. We've done it. We've recorded. We've garbaged out. We actually filled the garbage dump up. That's actually why we're doing the final battle, because there's no more place to put any more garbage, it turns out. Recycling is a big issue. And without recycling, we actually wouldn't even be able to do this right now, because we ran out of landfill space years ago, technically. But through the magic and the miracle of the internet, we've been able to store an infinite amount of garbage, fucking thousands of trillions of worth of garbage. Anyways, in the Church of Buttercup, we have one rule. You can't bring any drama in to the church from any other past rooms. This is the final room, and it's a new room. Therefore, that's the only rule. And if you are not here now, but you will be here later in this room, and you don't know that rule, well, we might be kind and let you know about that rule. But that's the inside joke room rule. You can't bring up any old drama in the final battle. You have to be